All right, we are on the test server and we are playing the hardest version of the new Annihilation raid, Omega difficulty 10. We've got immortal weapons. Now, every character inside the test server is purple 3, gear tier 20, and level 105. So it's still a struggle to get gear tier 20. With the addition of purple ISO 4 and 5, we're going to find that getting access to gear 220 in theory should get easier over time. And I'm finding that this highest difficulty, which, until we have the immortal weapons, right? I don't know what the point of that. Our alliance is going to start on difficulty 10, but the immortal weapons are not out. And they said, hey, you can show some gameplay of the raid. Well, let me show you some gameplay right here of the new hardest difficulty in raids. Okay, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Yeah, there's no gameplay to be had inside of raids. It's literally a gear check. Do you have the characters unlocked? Are they at high enough gear? All of these are 7-7. I don't have a way of testing it with lower, so it's possible that, at a 3-star, this is going to be manual gameplay. But essentially, raids, I like to call it blitz 2.0. It really is just, a gear check and you just go at it and there's nothing to see here. It really is just nothing at all as far as I'm concerned. And so that's the raids. Now, I did take them into Alliance War and did some testing. They are not... It's pretty underwhelming. It really is underwhelming as a complete team. They may have some extra value inside of Crucible, but I didn't see much of interest. Yeah, there's zero chance of them. But I feel like, let's do this. I mean, these are really strong teams here, right? Why don't we go up against this right here and we'll load it up. And just so you get a feel of what the team looks like, the turn order, the animations, things like that. But they are not a war. They're a raid team. And yeah, 2 of the characters can be placed elsewhere and may get some use. Thunderbolts may also get use with Mighty Avengers. One of the, there's 2 characters in the team that can be placed elsewhere. And maybe there's some opportunity there. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to discover all the value of, adding a single character. So far in my testing, it didn't seem as impactful as, like Rachel Summers being put on Immortals, or Azazel being put on Cursed. But, this, what's going on here, they're not taking damage, which is kind of interesting, right? But their cooldowns are screwed because of the way that this new team works, right? So here we go. We're just going to see if we can get anywhere. It's kind of fun. I mean, parts of this I do like. And I feel like World War II, Iron Fist is the weakest. Like if we're going to start substituting out and replacing, he's going to be the one that gets replaced because a lot of the kits will work where we can drop in, a mythical character and the team gets better. But it just seems somewhat uneventful. This team is just lapping us right now. And, we're just doing basics at this point. We'll go into another match here in a minute that has a little better example of what you can expect. But it's a raid team. It's a raid team. They literally have sold us a key to a lock that they have crafted. And, they're going to be important in the rest of the sagas and the chapters. It's not really what I would consider a skippable team, right? But this is a perfect example of what are they doing? What do they do? I have found in my time in testing in Marvel Strike Force and on the test server, if they work well in raids, it's apparent right out of the gate. Like I was told, there's you can maybe get them, if you get the turn order right on this team here, you can beat this. I was like, okay. All right, let's try it. You know, and everything here is equalized, right? Everything's standardized. Everybody's at the same gear tier level. Everybody's at the same star level, everything like that. And yeah, it doesn't go anywhere, right? You know, it's just like, and you know, most certainly the newer team like Brimstone, they just get exploded by. It's not a war team. And, you know, whether or not they're useful in Crucible remains to be seen. In Crucible, the one thing I'll say about that is in Crucible, sometimes they have a raid room. And I do think that that'll be interesting with this, a raid room inside of Crucible. And I'm going to try to take out Kahori first. I heard that this match is possible. If I can get through Kahori. My experience with playing against this team was that I got stuck behind Ms. Marvel Classic. And that was that. They just got stuck, right? All right, let's see if we can get through that. Yeah, a lot of single target damage. Not a lot of AoEs, a lot of stuns and things like that. Problem with that in some ways is that, you know, we're playing up against a team with immunity and safeguard, which, you know, without clearing that, you know, you're kind of stuck. And I feel like we're gonna, what's gonna happen in this match, if I can already call it now, is that, oh, I should have went after, well, let's go. I think we're okay with that. Let's do a basic. See if we can get through Kahori. If Kahori pops off, I think we're going to lose. Yeah, I think we're going to lose. Yeah, Kahori's going to do her thing now. And then we're back behind the taunt. All right, yeah, it just, all the matches feel like this. It's just like, oh boy, this is not, at least in my testing, not going to be like amazing in war. And it doesn't feel like, how would I equate this? It doesn't feel like Night Stalkers did, or the way Orcus did. You know, those are both raid teams. This doesn't feel like that at all. We'll go in and do Mighty Avengers here in a second, and we will try some of these matches with Mighty Avengers and see if it feels better when making the substitution there. See here, you know, we're gonna, you know, same thing. This is gonna be a little better because there's a lot of stuns on this team, which is kind of interesting. So maybe we'll be able to control. Well, we're not gonna be able to get through that necessarily. We got to get rid of this taunt. Okay. Yeah, now we're back to this safeguard plus immunity situation. Okay, yeah, this is not going to do much. Okay, then. Okay. Boom. And that's pretty good damage. A lot of single target damage. In theory, that could be amazing, right? Okay. All right, let's do that. Okay, there we go. That's got some AoE there. Fantastic. Boom. Yeah, they just stuck behind this juggernaut taunt. Okay. So the question is, who do I want to, let's go here to Hood and see if we can get through. Yeah. Fantastic. Push buttons. See, this is kind of, let's do it. All right. Back under the juggernaut taunt, and he's gone. Let's hit these 3 targets. Okay. There we go. We got it. And there, I don't know if the ISOs are optimized here. We could play around with the ISOs some more. I didn't spend a lot of time trying to optimize the striker skirmisher combo on these guys. So that may require some additional looking into. All right. Let's see if we can get through you. There we go. One more hit. There we go. Almost got you. Okay. Boom. Okay. I mean, this is okay, right? Anyways, you know, I don't see this team really being skippable if you care about raids. You know, they have the tag. similar to the Harbinger, right? So, as far as a lot of the things that are coming up in the Thunderstrike quarter, they're kind of going to be a thing. It's not like going to be able to not do this. That's just kind of the way it is. I'm going to go out to the roster. We'll talk about that, and then we'll go in and substitute in on the Mighty Avengers. But, Villain, Global Mystic, Brawler, Mortal Weapon, War Ready, right? And then what I'm of some interest is we could throw him on the Mighty Avenger, right? So let's go and do that. I'm going to take out, Vision? Vision's probably the weakest, if I were to guess. I'm not sure. I think we want to keep Falcon in there. Mighty Avengers, right? Mighty Avengers is kind of, for me, has been reduced to like a B tier Super Scroll team. So like when I'm in war here, I kind of look for like, okay, where's the Super Scroll? Okay, I don't see a Super Scroll. Right. Okay, let's try this. Let's see if I can get in with Mighty Avengers here. So we're going to pull up that tag. Mighty Avengers and Hercules, Invisible Woman, Swordmaster. I'm going to leave out Vision. There's a better way of doing that. I don't know, but I just feel like I don't want to. I just let's try that. I mean, I was torn on which one I would do. Let's just see if we can get anywhere with this here. And I think this team is interesting that we're playing up against because it's got Super Scroll. We should be able to shut down Super Scroll, but they're going to get a revive. See if Swordmaster adds anything to this. We got all the revives there, which is going to be interesting. All right. Let's see, we need to get to... We got rid of a revive there. That's good. All right, let's do that. Nothing really to extend, but probably need to get through Dormammu before takes a turn because he actually will die. We're going to take all that turn meter by doing the special. All right, goodbye, at least Dormammu. Oh, we didn't even get through Dormammu. All right, well, let's see here. All right, well, I really see this is kind of the thing. Like I need to hit. Let's do that. Yeah. Fantastic, right? That's great. All right, let's see if we can get through this. Okay, we get some health rebalancing. Stuck behind the taunt. Okay, this is going to be AoE. You're still going to get through all the revives, right? I feel like if we get through Miss Marvel Classic, we're going to be okay. I think this is a W for the Mighty Avengers team. I feel like Swordmaster absolutely was a good thing here. Especially that special seems to be quite excellent in this particular matchup. I do like that they're doing that. We got Bullseye on Thunderbolts and Swordmaster on Mighty Avengers. Because a lot of the complaints that I had at the beginning of the video about it's a raid team, you kind of have to buy it. You know what I mean? That's an amazing ability right there. That's special. Quite good. I like it. I think that salvages the team, in my opinion, is having that flexibility to refresh to older teams. I like that they're doing that. They did that with Rachel Summer Azazel. Now they're doing that with Swordmaster and Lady Bullseye. Because otherwise, you just kind of get this bad feeling. It's like, I'm buying a raid team, and that's that. Are they as interesting to me as this guy right here in Brimstone? Not really. Not really. You know, it's a raid team, but if they can extend the shelf life of Thunderbolts and um, Mighty Avengers for another couple of months, I think that's a good thing. All right, let me know what you think. Bye for now.